Welcome back to the Data Analytics playlist. On this episode, I'm going to be breaking down what are data pipelines, their importance, how they fit in the data science process, and also what they are able to do. All right. Now, it's very important that people understand that you have to be able to understand these concepts first on a high level scale. So, where does each process come into each effect? And what are the causes, what are the effects, so that when you're able to go into the exact process, as in this case, what is data pipelines, what are the tools, what are the processes, what are the different types of processes. So understanding these ideas that which are so terms are used interchangeably because the assumption is that you understand, but a lot of people fail to understand that. That's why I've done the data analytics playlist, tried to break it up section by section. I was meant to do the type of data analysis, but I'm going to do that in the next two episodes. So the episode after this, I'm going to speak about what is ETL, and I'll explain that in this video. And then after, I'll go into the types of data analysis process. As I remembered in the data analysis playlist, I didn't actually go and explain what is a data pipeline. Now, that was a mouthful. To go back to what we're actually trying to solve or what we're trying to explain, all right? We're going to use a thought experiment or analogy, whatever you want to call it. But imagine now we're going to be using a thought experiment, which is simply the world that we live in now. We're trying to drink water, and we're drinking water. Now, the process of drinking water, right? Let's say, for example, your water comes from many different sources. So it comes from lakes, it comes from the ocean, and it comes from rivers. All right? Now, this water that you want to drink, it's not clean, it's contaminated. So you can't necessarily drink this water, right? As the water is contaminated. In some cases, the water is requires different things to be done to it. Like, let's say, for example, from the ocean, it's salt water. So you find that a different process needs to happen. Maybe from rivers, because it's running water, it's continuous water. You find that certain different processes have to happen. The contamination type is not the same, or the reason why you can't drink it is not the same. But also you find other times the water is actually you're able to drink the water immediately, right? But now what happens is, let's say, for example, we're talking about in society today at the moment. Now, using water pipelines, the water comes from different sources and it comes to a water treatment plant. So this this water is taken from different sources in multiple areas, and then it's brought to a central hub, which is a water treatment plant, where this water, different processes are done to reduce the contamination, and different chemicals are added depending on what's type. But this water is then transformed to be able to be used, right? Now, what happens is in the processes when this can take a different amount of time. But remember, people need to be able to drink the water. Now, when we're drinking the water, right, you find that we've got different use cases. So we use the water for different things once the water has been treated. So, for example, we drink and cook with it. We do cleaning, and also then we use it for agriculture. So the use cases for this water is different, and each falls as still paramount, with others being more important than the others, right? Now, when we take this thought experiment and we now bring it up and we say, okay, now how does this same process, or how does this same thought experiment come into a business context? You must understand that information, different types of information, how the information is stored, where the information comes from. This part is so essential for business use cases. And for example, even just to show you the sources of how is the business keeping the data, how is the information being kept, where is it being kept, right? You find that there are things called data lakes, data warehouses. In oceans, you find that there's something called databases. So this is either AWS, cloud, let's just say cloud, or you find sometimes on premises. So here I'm talking about storage, data storage. How is the business information being kept? Where does the initial information actually go? If someone swipes a purchase or someone does a transaction, where does that information immediately go, right? And where is it kept in the business? Let's say rivers, we can call this as streaming, or we can say continuous information or continuous data. So let's say, for example, if someone is making multiple purchases, that information is being kept, but it's ongoing purchases. So it's something which is, we can call that data which, let's say, for example, streaming data or data which will be needed regularly. I'll get into this a little bit further down the line, right? Now, when we talk about going through the same pipeline, where this information is actually stored, it has to be brought to a central hub where this information can then be cleaned. The same terminology again, and also it can be transformed as this data is contaminated and needs to be transformed, right? Now, there are different processes which goes through the data. There are things like EDA, which is called exploratory data analysis. There's also something which we call ETL, ETL processes. So we're now talking about different data pipeline processes. Let me just say processes. So we bring this information to a central hub where we now transform this information and we remove the contaminations. We also, it's important to understand your information. So remember, this is where you find data engineers, data scientists are involved in the process. In my case, we're an AI engineer who wants to build a specific type of model. I'm trying to solve a business use case. So the business has got a problem that they're trying to solve, and I need to use the data. But I need to first understand where the information is coming from, how the information is being used, and then I use that information to build a model that performs a specific task that allows the business to be able to optimize or process or increase revenue. I'm dumbing it down a bit, but it's still important. I just need to make sure that the mic is on, or all of this is irrelevant. Now, when we go back to the use cases, right? In this example, when we're taking the business case, is now the information goes to a centralized hub. Sometimes this is called an enterprise data warehouse. All right. Now, if you think about it, right, when this information has been put or stored in a certain way. And that's where it comes back to the business context. What is the business trying to achieve? What's the goal? How is the information needed? And what is it being used for? What is the use case? Then that information is kept here. Now, there are different tools. There's something called Databricks, which is a software which is really impressive. But they've got something called the medallion data structure, where a medallion structure where they actually transform the information and they keep it in a certain way. But I think I don't even need to go into that. But now, the different data pipeline processes. There are three processes which I'll go into. So there's the ETL. So there's extract, transform, load. So it's called extract, transform, load. There's something called data replication. And then there's finally data virtualization. Right? Now, I think it's not necessary for me to go through them, but it's just important for people to understand that there are different data pipeline processes. It's important for people to understand how this goes through. I wanted to skip and go through the streaming or the continuous data. Now, let's say when a business collects data, how is the information flowing through the data pipeline and what is the use case? So normally you find that the information is normally broken up into two. Let me just do a different color here. The information is normally broken up into two. So let's just say the data processing types. So let's say processing. So normally we have batch processing, and then we say streaming processing. So let's say you want to get you're a bank and you want to have all the transactions that have happened at the end of the day, right? And you want this in your enterprise warehouse. So firstly, when it goes through the entire process, irrelevant of where the information is immediately stored, it goes through the data pipeline processes, and the data is transferred from the data lakes or the database, and it's brought into the central hub. It's cleaned, the information has gone through, transformed, and stored here. How then you want to say each 24 hours you have that information. So let's say every 24 hours, right? But let's say now in the same bank, we're now working with the fraud division, and this, you need the information to be continuous because you're trying to catch fraud at any time that it happens. So instead of this information being brought in batches, you're now continuously getting this information. So the information is coming in streaming, like in streams where it's continuous information. I don't think I'm explaining it the best way that I can, but I think that's the best way. That's the best way I can explain it. Then I guess, yeah. So as I said, the ETL, the data replication, data visualization. Let's say the data replication is in the process. You're simply copying the data. Let's say from your data storage, you copy it to another source, let's say another repo, for various reasons. The data virtualization is, instead of going through this entire process, you simply collect the information and you skip to the end. And you simply simulate what the process is. So you don't build this pipeline. You do this, let's say, when you're trying to say, would this even be necessary? But as I said, data virtualization, data replication, you can go a bit more in depth into that. I just wanted to go through the actual process and say, okay, this is what this is all about. I think there's, as you know, I do multiple playlists. I do the building AI playlist, where I go in depth into artificial intelligence models, actually building models. What are the models going, explaining specifically and a bit more technical. I do the building the data analytics playlist, which is what we're going through now, where I go through all the concepts that are important in terms of information in data science and data analytics. Then I do building data science, where I go in a little bit more high level into important data science concepts. And it's very important. I know there's one or two playlists that I haven't been paying attention to. I'm going to try release a few more videos on that. And it's easier for me to manage this all in my mind. But please feel free to put a comment if there's something or an important topic which I haven't gone through in either of the playlists. On the far left, there is a playlist where I call um, tech newsletter. So what I do is I write a weekly newsletter, which I talk about data science, computer software, and tech affecting society, and how all those technologies and issues and fields are affecting society. And then I talk about that newsletter and those ideas on the tech newsletter. That's on the far left. So I'm just trying to go through it so people understand exactly where this um, channel is all about, what it's all about, where it's all going, and of course, for people to understand that if a playlist is not for you or not what you're looking into, or if you're interested in data science, you can simply go and check out another topic or another playlist. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you soon again.